Good morning, everyone. How are you this beautiful day? Beautiful day that the Lord has made. I'm Karen Jane Casey on the podcast Turn to God with Karen. And as you may know, every Friday we have episodes, Karen's Book Corner. This is where I talk about books I've written, maybe a backstory, maybe reading a little bit, or I talk about books that other people have written. Today, we're going to do part 2 to the KarenRLacyChildrensBooks series. There was a part 1. I hope you listen to that because I have now 8 books in this series, and the first 5 I covered in part 1. So you might have to look it up if you haven't seen it already. Anyway, moving on to the next book, Betsys Adventure. I so enjoyed writing this story. Originally, I had in mind a time when my husband and I took a sweet, precious little girl for a walk, and we talked with the animals as we did our walk. But since then, I have enjoyed walking so much, especially in the area I live in. Sometimes I pretend it's a sanctuary because there's so many beautiful birds and squirrels and rabbits and other little critters once in a while. I think my favorite might be the robins and the rabbits. But I love to watch the squirrels playing around. Well, that's what this book is all about. The robins, the rabbits, and the squirrels. And here's a picture. Anyway, and there's also, climatic moment, a couple of them actually, when a little kitten is frightened by a big dog. And then another time when there's introduction to a lizard and a fish and a frog, and they don't realize that there's a snake approaching the frog. Anyway, little Betsy meanders home and tells her mother all about her adventure. So I hope that you'll enjoy Betsy's Adventure, and if you contact me to buy your book, you can get it with a bundle, and I offer the robin that goes with it. I also have rabbits, so you can ask about that. So the next book I want to talk about is Our Little Friends. I think this is probably the most beautiful book that I have. And, hummingbirds are beautiful. And Our Little Friends is all about the experience my husband and I had last summer with the hummingbirds. It all started out innocent enough. A hummingbird came along to our butterfly bush, and we quickly put a feeder up. Well, more hummingbirds came, and then one day we forgot to put nectar in that feeder. So a hummingbird came at me, squawking and carrying on. And at first I didn't know what in the world did I do wrong. But we put the nectar in, and it seems like that really kind of broke the barrier because they entertained us so much from then on, playing and racing, and it was just really nice. I know if I put my hand out, one would have probably sat on my hand, but then I looked at the beak and, I enjoy just watching them. And that was so much fun. And we have beautiful, beautiful illustrations of the hummingbird and information about them that people might want to know. So I hope that you get Our Little Friends. And if you buy it from me, not on Amazon, then you can also take advantage of the bundle offering. There's a little hummingbird. So we have bundles available in that. And then my next book, which would make the total of 8, is Mama and Little Cub. Mama and Little Cub. And this is based upon a few bear stories in my family. And it's really an adorable story here, and it really just touches on the stories that were the background for me writing it. But I'll tell you those stories now, and there's a blog on my website that tells the story in detail. But I'll tell you a couple of the bear stories. My son and my brother, they're hunters, they were walking around in the woods one day, and they saw a cave. One of them said, "Oh, look, John Allen, there's a cave. You think we should go in it?" And the other one said, "Oh, yeah, let's go look." And they saw two great big eyes that were far, far apart. And they realized that there was a bear in there. So they took off running. Well, then sometime later, my husband and I went on vacation somewhere in North Carolina, and we were walking through the woods, which, we have no business doing that. We didn't know what was there. And my husband said, "Oh, look, there's a cave." And I said, "Let's get out of here." Because I had heard the story of my son and my brother. Well, that night, a mother and son, bears, but they were full size, went through our resort area, knocking down trash cans and so forth. So that's where you see the little bit about Little Cub knocking down a trash can and them experiencing hunters talking about looking in a cave, and then they were frightened by the bears. So it's a really adorable story. And Little Cub learns a lesson. That's really good for children to see, that you got to mind your mama, and you learn a lesson in that. Okay, so, and the bundle offering for that would be a little bear if you contact me to buy your book. And you can contact me through my website. That'd probably be the easiest way. Go to the contact page on my website. That's KarenJaneCasey.com. KarenJaneCasey. Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing about these 3 books. And I tell you what, there are more in the works. Well, thank you, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.